Poop. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Don't you want to be successful? Success tastes good.
Eat the turd. Put it in your chopper.
"24 months of eating shit to be able to eat caviar for the rest of your life."
I got shit in my tooth.
That's why I didn't want to do it. Thank you for supporting and subscribing to our channel.
We really appreciate it. It's been awesome. Huh?
I said his channel. He's the one that does all of the...
She says that, but she's a huge part for the company. Definitely a huge support. So anybody that's married and they're in business, they understand that, how, man, it's a lot. So, and in all the rough and hard times of our business, Rachel's been there, and she's been the person that I vented to or I talked to before I got onto social media, and I was talking to these other people. I was putting all that emotional burden that I had onto her. So, I mean, she's been very supportive and helped us along the way. And we both serve our own parts to the business, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. But thank you guys for the support.
Thank you.
And we hit 1,000 subs, so
Yes, that's awesome.
I set a goal. I don't know if I've talked to you about it, but I would like to see the channel get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Why? I don't know. You got to have a number to shoot for. So the same thing in your business. I'm treating the YouTube just like that. I'd like to get to 10,000 subs because I can help more people. And that's really what it's all about. By the way, we're going to be doing some giveaways. So we're going to jump right into that as well, because we have a giveaway we've got to do. We've got 2 hats. You want them up? We got the Makita hat. This one we're not giving away. Sorry for teasing you.
It's ours. And this good-looking thing.
This one's the Echo hat. It's signed by Greg Chisholm. And it says, "Don't be scared." Yeah. So the Makita hat, if you want to enter to win that, go subscribe to Adam Devine's channel. The link will be below in the description, and he will release a video with Greg Chisholm in it, and somehow in there he's going to tell you when and how to subscribe or whatever you got to do to enter to win that. So we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway real fast. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to pull it up. So in the video, I know I said comment free cat to be entered. I won't do that again. Just comment on the video next time when I'm doing a giveaway. That's how we're going to do it. Turns out it's kind of a pain doing it the other way, and a lot of people don't listen to everything all the way. So I don't even know if they knew I was giving a giveaway. So who knows? Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually just randomly pick. Alright, so what we have here is a YouTube random comment picker. We're going to go ahead and copy and paste the URL for that video in. And let's see who won. Okay, we got 148 unique users found.
Whoop.
Rachel, go ahead and pick that winner.
Look, there's free comeback. Okay, here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Jay's Crazy Cutz. Woo woo.
That works out perfect. Jay, thank you for the support. He's been on here for a while.
Mr. and Mrs. J.
Mr. and Mrs. J's Crazy Cut. They comment on almost every video I have, and incredibly awesome supporters of the channel. We were just talking about you at dinner, actually. Alright, so let's get on to some of the big milestones.
For Jay's Crazy Cutz, we need to get his address.
I met him at the GIE.
I know. Why would you have it though?
Oh, right here. I've got his phone
It's on
number.
his car. It's not. That's not
Don't
his
show.
address. I wasn't gonna show
I got his
it.
phone number. I'll call him directly. That's awesome. Anyways, I got to meet him at the GIE.
And his wife. I saw that girl on a mower.
And
She
his
looked like
wife.
she knew what she was doing.
That's what I meant to say. When I say I got to meet him, I'm just talking about the channel in general, which encompasses his wife. I don't like when I talk about our channel
Well, when you
or
were
our
first
business.
introducing me to them, when I was seeing all your videos, you brought up her.
What's going on, guys? Jason, Christina, Jay's Crazy Cutz. Go ahead and subscribe. We're here with the Juggernaut over here, the man.
You're like, you would have loved this
I know, right? All right, so let's. What was that?
I know, right? That's what I was. Robert, your brother showed me this at the restaurant earlier. He's posting videos and he's like, when to subscribe or subscribe to win or something. They've got. See, he's posting several videos of you guys. They're so proud of their boys.
All right.
Oh man, I've been feeling your mom and daddy. They're so excited.
So we hit several big milestones this year. We're gonna start walking through them. One was obviously. Big milestone for the channel where we hit 1,000 subs. We've got a lot of people that are active in the comments, and that tells me we're doing things right. Like, I want to be able to reach out to the right people that need some assistance, or hopefully what I'm saying helps them. And then the other thing is, like, I can't be full of myself. Some of my stuff's just entertainment.
It's a community.
So,
like, there's other people saying, hey, I'm not alone. I've got somebody else that's feeling what I'm feeling, and that is cool. One
of the things that I wanted to do with the channel for sure is I wanted to be like 100% honest. Is like lies disgust me. But the other thing is like, if I'm honest, I don't have to worry about messing up later down the road and be like, oh, well, I didn't mean to say that. So every now and then when I do say something, it'll come out weird. I try to fix it, or I will definitely let you guys know. But there's always something that every now and then accidents happen. I'm recording it on there and I'm like, well, the audio is good. But, you know, whatever. Anyways, so the big milestones this year, I got to go to the GIE.
Yay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. That was something I wanted to do for a long time. And I don't want to hit on that too much because I'm sure people are burnt out about hearing about it. Because personally, I hated hearing about people talking about going to the damn GIE. I loved it all the way up until the point when I realized I wasn't getting to go that year. And then it wasn't as fun for me.
There's a lot that goes into being able to make that thing happen.
Yeah.
To being able to make it happen to where you can go, where a business owner can go, because it's a lot of work for one, and you're leaving a lot of stuff behind. It's time. It's a lot of work. So it's really cool that he was able to go this year, because that's a huge milestone.
So,
And then you also went to, after the GIE, you got to go to Brian's lawn maintenance seminar. I don't know the
Launchpreneur Academy.
Launchpreneur, yeah. And then right after that,
I went to 3 seminars this year.
3 seminars.
So I went to one on how to sell your business. Thank you to Dean.
It's 4 actually then. That's 4 seminars this year. How to sell your business, Dean Dobbins spec, the GIE.
GIE's not a seminar. GIE's an event.
Well, it's a class for business. Like it's you stepping away, paying money for that education. They count. It all counts. So the How to Sell Your Business, the GIE, Brian's Lawn Maintenance, the Launchpreneur Academy, and then the one you just went to recently. I don't really know what that one is.
Clay Clark event. It was. I don't know what the event itself was called, but I went, okay, so I got to thank a few people. The GIE, I got to thank my wife. She stayed at the house and watched over my equipment and, you know, just like fully supported me on going. So there's a lot that goes into that. So big thank you to her, because it probably wouldn't happen without her. And, you know, there's stuff to do at the house still, you know, like, what were we going to do with our daughter for a week? It was kind of spontaneous when I didn't think I was going to go, and then my buddy Adam talked me into going, so thank you to Adam. And he rented the hotel room. I covered the ride. It was a blast, man.
Great teamwork right there.
Yeah, so like, and by the way, we're going next year. If we drive, if you want to ride and you're along the way, just let us know. We'll pick you up. Anyways, yeah, as long as you're not some freak, you're going to stab me in the back of the car or anything. Getting off topic. Dean, thank you for giving me a ticket to your seminar on selling your business. I really enjoyed that. It's kind of given me a lot to contemplate towards the end of the season, because I went mid-season. And then, see here. Mike Gunn bought me a ticket to the Launchpreneur Academy in Novi, Michigan. So quite the drive. It was
right after the GIE.
Right after the GIE. So we came back, and while we were at the GIE, the truck got stolen. But we'll talk about that later. Help me out here. What were we talking about?
My Gunn.
My Gunn bought me a ticket to go see the Launchpreneur Academy event, and it was an awesome seminar. A lot of good speakers. I got to meet a lot of really cool YouTubers that I've looked up to for a long time, and was able to make a video with some of them, like Keith Kelfis and
Stan Genetics.
Stan Genetic, and
Brian, although we didn't put it out there.
I was able to make a video with several of them, but the audio was so bad that I wasn't able to use some of the footage. So I may look into it this winter and see if I can kind of scrub it to make it usable. But I just know that I'm going to be able to meet these guys in the future, and they were cool enough to make a video with me once, so I should be able to make a video with them again. And hopefully with a better camera, with a better mic.
And then the gentleman from Tulsa that took you to the recent seminar.
Mr. C's Lawncare. He just started a YouTube channel, by the way, so I will link his YouTube, and I'll link his Instagram, and down in the description. So Mr. C's Lawncare purchased a ticket, and he gave me his +1 to the event here in Tulsa.
It was a 2-day event.
2-day event on business systems. He asked me if I could go. It was kind of last minute, and the truth is, I couldn't. I couldn't afford it, and we were really busy. We were actually really busy, and I had a lot of work to get done. And when I say I couldn't afford it, I couldn't afford to take the time off. But you know what? Certain things are well worth taking time off, and one of those being education. And a lot of people don't understand the value of a seminar and what it can bring to you. But the fact is, that whole day, it's just crazy, man. You got to think, like, if you listen to my videos, you understand that I come from a poverty mindset. That we've kind of been on the bottom of the barrel for a long time, and things are just starting to turn for us. And I grew up thinking different about money, and here I am in a room full of people that own multi-million-dollar businesses, and I'm able to talk to them, and I'm right up front. And he bought an up front ticket. I wasn't in the back, and it was
cool.
A really awesome event.
It was a huge event here in Tulsa for businesses.
Yeah, it was a big takeaway. A lot of very successful entrepreneurs, and they're doing very well. The podcast on there, by the way, the person that threw on the event is Clay Clark, and he has a podcast called The Thrive Time Show, and I would highly suggest you listening to it. I've started listening to it since the event, and there are several things that I'm very interested in that I'm going to dive into on the channel, kind of like his how he does interviews and stuff like that, because that's something we are going to implement into our business. And that's one of the things when you go to seminars, you need to look for 1 or 2 takeaways, or same as when you read a book, things like that. You're looking for 1 or 2 takeaways that you can implement that stuff into your business. So we had to get that out of the way. I know that might be boring to some people, but seminars and the events, because you read books and you watch YouTube for so long, and then there's a time where you advance to the next stage, and it's like getting a promotion. You're ready to be there in person. You're ready to experience it. You're ready to absorb it on a different level. And so it's really different when, like, say when I went to Novi. I drove to Novi.
Right after the GIE.
Yeah. We drove there. Did we
and Adam.
buy the hotel, or did Adam buy the hotel? We bought the hotel.
Yeah, we bought the hotel that time.
Yes. So we bought the hotel. We drove there. It was, money shelled out, but being there in person, you just come back rejuvenated and ready to go. Like, it gives you a different energy. So it's really helped me stay pumped and excited in a beneficial way, not just like spinning my tires, but we're going into winter with a lot of good material and things to implement, which is very, very important, because right now is the time to structure your business. So that would be another thing. I'd say that's a milestone. Last year was the first winter that I went into where I went, well, this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So last year we started turning around having downtime in the winter.
Another milestone that was right before the GIE, or during the GIE, is you got to meet the man.
I got to meet Greg Chisholm, the freak, right? Which you guys know, because we did the hat giveaway, and we saw the video. It was pretty awesome. People ask me how that happened, and the honest answer is it was kind of like this beautiful accident. I didn't plan it. It was kind of spur of the moment.
He was so happy. Oh my gosh, he was so excited. Greg Chisholm is the man that he was when we moved to Tulsa from Kansas, and when we went all in with the business, Greg Chisholm was who was playing throughout our entire house all the time. I mean, that is the man that gave him inspiration, made him feel not alone. I mean, he was right by Kevin's side through his videos. So being able to meet him in person and talk with him and know that what was on in his videos, Greg Chisholm, he was that same man in real person, and that is awesome.
And he spoke directly to where I was at the time, which is the beautiful thing about the beautiful thing about YouTube is that you can find these people, and you can find people that are right alongside of where you're at. And for me, you know, he was telling me, look, you can do it with whatever you have. Your equipment might be busted, but you know, it is what it is. You might not have money to buy stuff. You can go out. And I think my first video seen him was like how to make $100 a day. And now looking back at that, that's kind of a joke. But what he was talking to is somebody in my scenario that I just needed to figure business out. I just needed to get my first couple of clients, you know, and that's how it starts. Is you just
$100 a day, depending on where you're starting at in the business,
it's huge.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just got to break the ice, and then once you figure out, oh, I can do that, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, let's see here. This one was a big win for not only the company, but also my wife, because I was able to run a crew while I was also on production. So, and it was an advertising crew, which Rachel ran. What do you think? I mean,
well, I love how proud or how good it made you feel to know that it was me doing it. That's probably the biggest thrill of that, is he loved seeing me in action. We were able to run a 4-man crew, not including myself, so 5 men all together doing door hanger distribution, and we did it for
without me there, and that's the key.
Yeah, because he was on, like you said, on production with our former employee, and we were able to. So we had the van that he had bought earlier this year at what was that place?
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, with his friend Luke, they went to this place and got good deals on vehicles. Anyways, yes, we had an awesome white van that we used, and we had 4 people in the van with us, and I would drop 2 of them off at a location with a map and door hangers and backpack for water bottles, and
so
I suck at this.
No, not at all. Don't do
Okay.
that. Not at all. So basically, what she would do is she was in charge of it. She's managing, obviously, but what she's doing is she's picking them up, giving them a map, making sure they have their water and stuff, setting them in a location, and then they run the route the way that it is on the map, and then they give her a call when they're about completed. She picks them up, makes sure they're re-watered, go to the bathroom, anything they have to, and then resets them in a different location. And that way it works pretty efficient. Now she's doing that with, you know, there's two-man crews doing that, and they're all going out working, and so she's basically hopping back and forth, making sure they're doing what they need to do.
And what's cool about this too is that to get to that point, to being able to, you know, have the 2-man crews, timing it and everything, it took a while, several runs, starting off with him and I originally, but then moving on up with other people. You know, we started timing it. We started locking down on what, you know, how long it should take to do, you know, this route and do this route, and you know, all the little in-betweens. So
yeah,
that was big.
I can pretty much look at the map, and it could be any map anywhere, and I just know the size of the map that I'm setting them out on the route. I'm like, yeah, that's an hour, that's 2 hours, you know, that's a hour and a half run. I'm pretty good at guessing that now, but because I timed it so many times on similar routes, so we're able to know how long roughly it's going to take them, and then we can track it that way.
That's cool. That was cool about it.
Yeah, well, the cool thing is that we developed the system over several years of me working, fine-tuning it, figuring it out, and then we're able to efficiently set that into place. So we're going to make a really good video on what we did for door hangers and how to smoothly do that and how we go about doing that. And that way it can be beneficial to you. We will release that sometime in the next couple weeks. But yes, very efficient way of doing it. Yes. So let's see here. Let's move on to this one. I was able to buy several pieces of equipment this year that have been kind of like something I've needed for a long time, or something that I've wanted to do for a long time.
And we were able to do it without it drowning us, or without it not drowning us, without drowning us, but without it causing us to go, oh, I don't know if we can do this. So
okay,
that's cool.
So before I get into buying the equipment, I have to start out with saying we set up our accounts different this year, and we went with the profit first method on how we use our bank accounts.
How long were you asking me to read that book? You kept saying it for several months.
Yeah, I was hounding on her for like at least a solid 4-5 weeks, like just hammering it every day. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Just watch this 30-minute video and help me put this into action. Because like I'm like the guy that's like, hey, this is what we're going to do. But when it comes to like something technical in the office, most of the time she's the doer. And I'm the guy that's like, this is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to do it. Put this into place for me. So without her, I'll be honest, I wouldn't run a legitimate business if it wasn't for her. I probably wouldn't pay taxes just because I'm not that good in the office. And to be honest, like up until this year, I didn't have the confidence around computers or anything else. Like I'm just not a techie dude. So I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Getting better. Sure. Anyways, but I was able to buy several key pieces of equipment. So I went to an auction this year, and because of the profit first method,
so cool.
there was money in the bank, and I was able to buy some stuff at the auction. I bought a van, and I bought a box truck, and I bought both of those for less than $800, which I mean doesn't sound like much, but that's something that I would have never been able to like front that without worrying. Oh, are we going to go negative?
Yeah, you were able to buy that. We had all of our bills paid. Everything was good, and then there was still money left over. Plus, we were able to cover the tags, the insurance. I mean,
the repairs on the vehicle, because I did some repairs to get them on the road.
It's so awesome. That was a huge milestone.
I have to tell you this because it's really important. We only had that profit first method in place for what, maybe a month and a half?
Yeah, probably a month and a half.
We immediately saw the benefits of running our bank accounts that way. So I would highly suggest that.
Yep. And check out that book.
Yes, because before this, our bank account has been merged with our personal account and everything else. Not the way to do business, which we knew that, but it's been hard to just tear everything apart.
Yeah, not saying that you have to have. I mean, if you're starting off, you don't have to have like 20 accounts. That's not what we're saying.
No.
Yeah.
It's hard to break. It's hard to break old habits, and one of them was we had our personal accounts and our business account merged together.
We didn't distribute the money.
Like it just makes it muddy, real muddy. So we bought the van, we bought the box truck, we bought a new truck for our lawn business. Another key piece of equipment that I'm wanting to get is a mower. We'll work on that soon. I've got a good mower, but I would like to. I've been wanting a different one for a long time, and I've had this one for about 3 or 4 years, and it's about time to either upgrade it or turn it into a backup. You know what I mean?
You bought the backpack blower.
I bought the backpack blower, which is something, by the way, if you're looking for a backpack blower and you're on a budget, the way I've always done it is gone on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or in pawn shops. And I always found them for under $200, normally around about $150, and I got a good blower.
Yeah.
After I tried my buddy Luke's 8010 Echo 8010 blower, I had to buy one before leaf season. So I went out and I bought my.
Game changer.
It really is. That blower's crazy powerful. But I bought my very first brand new backpack blower, which I think was a milestone for me.
Heck yeah, it was. That's awesome.
And they're not cheap blowers, man. So it's one of those things that I've had a lot of theft in the past, handheld equipment and stuff like that. And I always thought to myself, man, if somebody steals a blower, which by the way, I've had 3 or 4 blowers stolen, backpack blowers. I just knew it would like kill me if I bought a brand new 8010 and somebody stole it. Now I'm like, you know, it's worth the risk. I want to have that blower. It's a good piece of equipment. I like it. It is what it is. I don't want to do business without it.
Able to do it. So
yeah, I'm finally at a different stage. So moving on, we were just kind of talking about theft. If you haven't seen the video, there's a link below. But my truck was stolen this year, which I think's a big milestone in the business. It's not a fun milestone, but if you're in the lawn business for long enough, you're probably going to have a truck stolen. So we had our truck for maybe 2-3 weeks, and it was stolen right in front of the house while I was at the GIE.
During the day.
It's pretty miserable. So thank you to Rachel, because she stayed strong. She took all the emotional burden of it, which is, I know, really hard to do, because when you walk out and you see a piece of equipment gone and you know it was there, this has happened to me so many times, then it crushes you. It's very difficult. You go through these paces where you're like, did I put it somewhere else?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
You know,
it was so comforting when you said that to me when we talked when you got back, because it was like you knew everything I was feeling, but I didn't want to talk to you about everything I was feeling while you were there, and that was a good thing. But I mean, the truck was my wish for you for the whole year. I wanted you to have a new truck for several years, because although that truck he makes it look good and really cool.
I got to where I liked it.
Box. He's a stud, and he makes stuff look good, and it was wonderful, and it's a blessing. But I wanted him to have something that was different, something new. I wanted him to have AC, even though to him it's not a big deal because he's used to it and he's adjusted. But I just wanted him to have something different every day when he leaves. When you would leave in the morning, I would hear the truck start up like 30 times, and you know, he's staying motivated, he's staying positive about it, and all I'm hearing is brr, brr, and you know, he has tennis elbow, and just him getting out of the driveway was hard. But he is such a optimistic guy, and he would leave the driveway. But my wish for him the whole year was a new truck, because I just wanted his day to be able to go to the driveway and make it out of here. But
she brought up tennis elbow, and the reason why that's coming up is it was standard. And there for a while, I didn't know why it was so hard to get it in gear, but it's because the bolts on the transmission were actually backing out slowly. And then once it got bad enough, I could actually press on the clutch, and I could feel it move on the shifter. And I was like, something ain't right here. And that's how I figured that out. But yeah.
I've seen him in this hot box for years, and he's so optimistic. He never would show that the truck was bothering him, or that it was hot, or that it was loud and very difficult to just, you know, move from one destination to the next. But as the wife, as the other person that's, you know, back here, that was my biggest wish for him. And then while he's at the GIE, at, you know, during a big milestone for us, this truck was stolen, and it was awful to walk out to.
So we're gonna leave that on that, but
stop on that one. Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
I don't want to bring on the tears.
We're gonna leave it on that. But if you want to see the range of emotions and then the actual positivity, I think I was incredibly positive and motivating with it. And, you know, it's not like a fake thing. You can see that it's honest. So that is in the description. There's a link to that video. And I actually made a video with you guys before I spoke to my wife. So she called me and told me that it happened. And she was talking to an officer. And while she was, I kind of split from the room because Adam was up there. And, you know, you don't want to cry in front of a dude and be that guy, but you know, I mean, it was like what happened. So I was in shock, and
you weren't even, when I called you, you were, I couldn't even, your reaction was like, you were just, you let me get off the phone real quick so that way I could call the cops and take care of all that. But not once did you lash out. We didn't hardly get to talk, and then I saw your video, and I was like, I could feel you feeling all of that, but I didn't hear it from you physically, which
Yeah.
was hard,
So
but-
it's important, like in that kind of scenario, not to make it worse on the person that's actually going through the situation. And even though it's hard for me, like I suffered. I'm gonna say I suffered, but I put my time in a truck that wasn't that pleasant to be in. And the fact is, I knew I still had
it's a
that.
bit of an understatement.
It wasn't
So
that fun to be in.
optimistic.
But anyways, I still had that truck. In worst case scenario, I was gonna go back to work with that truck, and this is gonna lead into our next topic. But I've got a painting company as well, and the painting company was doing well this year, and I knew, hey, whatever, I'll hit it hard. We'll bounce back from it. And that's the attitude you have to have. So the concept when we talk about Juggernaut on the channel, and the whole reason that it's called Juggernaut, isn't so that I can sound cool. Although it feels pretty cool when
That
somebody
makes
calls
pretty
me
cool.
Juggernaut. Yeah, I feel pretty cool when they're like, hey, you're the Juggernaut. Yeah, that's cool. But no, the idea behind that is everything you go through is going to make you a little stronger. And next time it comes up, it's not that bad. So you're putting together this suit of armor, this emotional suit of armor, this intellectual suit of armor, so that whenever a problem occurs, you can just eventually plow through it like it's nothing, and you'll become unstoppable. So the whole idea behind that is to stay motivated, stay positive, and understand that no matter how tough it seems right now, it's going to get better. So talking about that, let's go ahead and talk about the next milestone. I talk about starting a business, how I started this business with no money. We started this business with the last $100 we had, but
Yep.
our painting
And
company.
it was like at 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. that night, because I remember it was
Oh yeah, it was
pitch
dark
black after
already.
you'd been working your butt off all day, and you came home and you said, this look in your eye, it was,
I was very new to the area, and I was still learning technology as well. Like, I didn't know how to read GPS and all that stuff. Like, I was still learning.
I don't even think we had smartphones at that time.
I
Oh,
just
maybe we
got a smartphone because of you.
Yeah.
Like, I had an old flip phone. Anyways, moving on from that, this year we started our second company. This is actually our third company. There was another company in there as well. We had an aquarium business that kind of evolved into the lawn business. And the aquarium business was just a side hustle. It was just more of a hobby, and I was kind of dabbling into starting a business. But moving on from that, very cool, by the way. And thank you for my mother-in-law for encouraging me through that, as well as my wife, because Rachel's always been there to encourage me through that process. So
The painting company.
the painting company we started this year using our methods with absolutely no money. I didn't put any money into the business. I didn't invest a dime to start it. So if you want to do the same methods, I will discuss them this winter and talk about how we did that, as well as we are going to make a channel for painting that you guys can join, and you can follow along with that journey as well if you want. I'll bleed them into each other a little bit and let you know kind of what we got going on both sides, because ultimately I'm just talking about business. But I'll have it there for you if you'd like. So yeah, we started with no money, and it went very well. It very quickly matched the sales of the lawn care business.
It did exactly what you'd been telling me it would do
Yeah.
if we started it the year before.
Well, and I planned it out. I completely planned out how we were going to do it. What
We
are
did that during the last winter during our downtime.
Yeah. So
You
it
created
was very
systems
cool.
that you implemented last winter, and they went into implementation mode this year.
Yes.
Oh.
So let's get on to the next one.
Okay.
It's not this. So the next one going along with that is I bought several programs or courses this year, and that's kind of like the seminars. I think that's a milestone. I was able to buy ones that I really wanted to see, people that I thought were of value. Some of those programs and courses you run into are kind of scamish, but I will say the ones I got this year were well worth it. And
Are we talking about the painting company and then Keith? Or painting company?
yes.
Okay. I was going to say the Tigran was last year, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yes.
That was the first year that you got to dip your toes in and you realize, whoa,
Yeah,
game changer mode.
Yeah, the programs are cool. And so I will say the Painting Business Pro course I bought this year was very in-depth, and I was actually able to make a video with him on his painting channel. So I will go ahead and link to that as well if you guys would like to dive into that guy. He's very intelligent with business, and I would highly suggest you do it. Let's move on to the next thing.
This one is definitely, I love this one. It could totally be a whole nother video if you want, but because I can't say enough about this. Implementing, can I say it? You want to say it? You want me to
Absolutely,
say it?
go for it.
Implementing credit card on file. My husband had been wanting to do this for probably 2 years, and I mean, we would talk about it on and off, and it wasn't, it was just a conversation, like, maybe at the end of the day, every day. But anyways, and when it finally got implemented, when he was just like, I'm just doing it, and even though I was not comfortable with it, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? This isn't going to be good. I mean, people are going to be like, why did I put my credit card on file? And all the doubts that you can possibly come up with went through my head. And I am so glad that my husband just went with it, because it changed the course of our business. Our business became, when he implemented it, our business changed. Like, we actually went from here to here, and we went from here to there real good. It wasn't like a bad increase. It was
very rapid, very smooth.
Yes, and it was
no transitional, like no growing pains with it.
Yeah, in fact, it was actually so much easier. Like, customers loved it. I mean, it kept us. We had a system with yard books to be able to implement it. We were able to do everything so professionally. It goes so much easier. We don't have, customers like on paper or anywhere. We have it all in one system. We have their credit card on file. Customers love it because it means we're serious about business. It says, hey, we're doing this service, and we're doing this service, and this is you're paying for it. You want this service done? We take ourselves seriously, and they take us seriously. And that is a hard thing to come to, because we don't want to hurt anybody. I was afraid that it would upset customers and blah blah blah, but anyways, it doesn't. It makes things flawless. At the end of each day, we bill our customers, we run their credit card, we send them an invoice, payment receipt. Everything is taken care of after that. The money is Stripe runs the credit card. All we see is the last 4 digits of the number, so we don't have any of the customer's personal information, but it handles all of that little stuff in between that makes it a pain in the butt to do bookkeeping. So the credit card on file is, I cannot say enough positive stuff about how it changed our business.
So you'll come up with all sorts of excuses,
fears
to be all sorts of excuses not to implement something into your business, and you have to realize at some point in time that that's just emotional baggage holding you to something. Like, you have to let go of your emotions to a decision on, is this going to hurt somebody's feelings? What if they don't? What if this? What if that? Because you're going to have all this mental head trash and garbage that's surrounding it. And when it all comes down to it, is it healthy for your business or not? If it's not healthy for your business, don't do it. If it's going to be the best decision for your business and it's healthy for you, do it. And I will say, card on file 100% was one of the best moves we've ever done, alongside going all weekly with lawn service. And I know there's certain areas that you guys service bi-weekly, and that's the way it goes because the grass doesn't grow that much, or it's all year long, or whatever it might be. But where we're at, the lawns need cut weekly. I cut bi-weekly for a long time because I was having a hard time getting clients, and it was helping me sell jobs. And then eventually my schedule got full enough that I'm like, this isn't working, and I just had to make the change. And what that did for us is we were able to go from 6 to 7 days a week with 2 guys in a truck down to, well, last year I did 3 days a week with just me in the truck, and we made exactly the same amount of money. So going weekly was an incredible decision. It was just smart. We weren't spending 30, 40 minutes extra on the lawn to make it look good, because I'm that kind of guy. I will make it look good.
And you weren't dealing with the customers that were calling that
Oh,
wanted
yes.
the bi-weekly. There's not even enough time the time that these customers that said they wanted the bi-weekly service, all of them would call him every time. Are you going to come? And it hadn't even been
It's like
9
3 days ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
every time.
all of them. Not one bi-weekly customer would not call him and be like, when are you coming? The grass is getting tall. So that was a lot of time in itself, just in those phone calls, the frustration from the customers, and Kevin, just sticking to what the customer had wanted in the beginning, compared to now where he's like,
nope, this is the way I do it.
He is the professional. He provides this service, and customers love the confidence. They love knowing that a professional is going to come in and take care of them, and I wish I could say more how much it has changed what the success of our business has become, because he recognized his value, and he went for it, and he said, this is what I'm worth, this is what I have to do to be able to provide the best service for you, for my business. And if he provides the best for his business, he's providing the best for the customer. And
you ultimately have to kind of walk them through that in the sales pitch. That you're just walking them through it. Like it's kind of weird. It's almost like just leading them to where they want to be. They know what they want, and you're just like, nope, this is the way to go. And
but I feel like you also spend less time having to sell a customer now.
Yes, it's much easier, and it's faster. But because I've put systems around it, that's something that we're going to get into. I'm going to make a video this winter about how to onboard a client, or how I onboard a client into our system and set them up as a client and get them going so that they're part of our reoccurring lawn clients. Now, when we're talking about this, just so you guys know, there was a solid 3-4 years where I was just screaming, I don't want to do these bi-weeklies anymore. I'm tired of cutting these tall lawns. Because you're showing up and it's like, it rains, and then all of a sudden it's 3 weeks, and then you're catching up 2 weeks of bi-weeklies, and then it's 4 weeks, or you get out to a month on cutting a lawn, and I never charged more. I always cut it for the same price.
Yeah.
So I always stuck to my prices. Well, it's late because of me. Well, no, it's not. It's late because you wanted it every 14 days, and it's got excessive growth, and then it rained, and then it grew faster because it's June.
And
now I'm cutting once a month.
We don't want to pay more than this amount, so I mean, it's bi-weekly. That's that's expected.
Ultimately, it costs me more money watching out for everybody else's budget, and now what I have is clients that treat me very well. They promote my business, they help me grow, and they get an awesome service from me because I am consistently there every week. I'm not cutting off a massive amount of grass, and just all around, it's the best way to go.
The billing is taken care of. They get to have their receipt.
It's
they
hassle-free, no headaches,
exactly.
And I don't have the headache clients. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next subject.
Okay.
We talked about that. Let's see here. We talked about that. We talked about that. This one's kind of fun. I think it's a milestone, but I had to replace a $500 turtle this year, and so why I say that's a milestone is that was a really crazy story. We will make a video on that. But the main point being why I see it as a milestone is that the larger you grow your company, the more eyes are on you, and the more people see you as successful, you're going to get probably a lawsuit or somebody coming at you for some source of money. And, I think I handled this one pretty well. And I'll share that because it was an odd war story. But,
and sometimes even if you're not, wherever the state your business is, there are going to be times when your business could have, or I'm thinking of the window from the trucking company, so that's why I'm throwing this out.
Yeah.
the reaction that he had in this incident that we had was was the game changer as far as was the milestone that we hit, because it would be so easy to just have reacted, bad, mean, angry, however someone might react in that, but instead it was reacted with understanding, also wanting to make sure that you looked into it. You didn't allow us to be screwed over, but you also didn't allow them to be screwed over, and you understood where they were coming from, and you made them understand where you were coming from in a very professional way. And it was one of those, it was like a conversation between two people that could have gone really bad, but it didn't, because of his education with his business, because of his
everything about it screamed scam, but
yes.
Ultimately the main thing to do was to conduct myself professionally, and we will completely dive into that on another video on
if want.
Yeah, no, we'll dive into it, because there's some really good lessons out of that.
Yes.
And why I handled it the way I did. So there's a whole lot of other things that really happened this year, and we don't want to be on here all night and bore your mind out, but we're gonna get on, we're gonna do some videos together this winter. I enjoyed this. Did you enjoy
I'm
this?
so glad that he wanted me to do, I also wanted to do the milestone video with him, because there's so many milestones that just, that make he made our family change. He took our family from point A to way past point A, and it's very exciting, and it's kind of hard to do this video with him, because he's really good on camera, but he did want me to do it, so I've given a shot at it. But yeah, it's very exciting, all the milestones that happened this year, and
it's been an amazing year.
it has. It's been a
every
wonderful
year it's grown better. Every year we've been in business, it's been the best year that we had. Although some of those years we didn't grow very much.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all those years. I mean, we grew, but it was like there were so many.
We got to like the $50,000 revenue mark and just kind of plateaued, and we went up a little bit and a little bit, and then now.
There's also a lot of emotional. Keep going.
Well, it was really nice to just blow past that this year.
Yeah, it
was. And the amount of difference that it made in our life with just a little bit of extra income was amazing.
And a little bit of implementing little things that really aren't small, even though it felt like they were. I mean, they were so big.
They felt huge.
Yeah, and they could have been if we wouldn't have implemented them, like the credit card on file, the weekly.
Profit first method.
If we would, profit first. If we wouldn't have implemented those this year, and then we probably would have spent the next decade doing what we've been doing the previous years. And
I do want to hit on one more milestone for sure. We had several people working for us doing the door hangers this year, and it was very cool. I think at some point in time we had, I think on our highest day I had 8 people, and I know we had 6 multiple times. We definitely did 4 people multiple times, and then
and 2.
when I paid Johnny one time. There was plenty of times I was out there doing it by myself or with Rachel, and I mean, you can go back to the very beginning of the year before we really kicked off, and you can see Rachel and I doing door hangers together, because I mean, that's how it works.
Fondest moments too. I love being able to be with you, and the whole time he would tell me all these things that he knew needed to happen, and until I actually got out there with him and did it, I was not a good partner until I got out with him and did it and listened and actually trusted. This year we got to pay. We hit another milestone as far as our employees and
how we paid them, and we were able to pay them good. We paid the people that we employed more than we've ever paid to do jobs that we were doing, and because I had the 2 separate companies, the employee that I had, my main employee, worked with both companies, and in 1 week he made $1,600. He didn't do that every week, but how cool is it to shell out that much in payroll? And I know that's petty to a lot of people, but that was a big milestone for us because in the past,
And that didn't even include like overtime. That was just I don't think it was overtime. But
No, because he was working with both companies. But what was amazing for us is that in the past, it was very difficult to pay between $300 to $500, and when there was like that $500 week, it was like, oh, you take this big hit because we weren't making a ton of money when we were doing bi-weeklies and stuff. Last year, I went solo for the most part. I had a little help here and there, but I was pretty much solo the whole year. This year in the beginning, I was solo until we ramped up, and I couldn't handle anymore, and then we hired somebody. So this year, 2020, I will get into a goals video, but I will tell you that I would like to try to employ 5 people. So that's kind of my goal with that. So overall, 2019, success?
Yes, very successful. Best year by far.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump off, but please like, subscribe, and comment down below if there's any video topic that you would like us to go over, because we'll gladly make a video. And, ultimately, I started the channel to help people. That's my whole main goal. I can't help somebody become a multi-million-dollar business. That's not what I can do. But I can help you if you are just starting out, or maybe you're 5 years in and you want somebody that's like, hey, I've been through this and they're real. Like, I'm extremely candid in my channel. And
Kevin is the most transparent human I've ever met, and he shares everything that he goes through on a daily basis. And that is what this whole channel, in my opinion, is about. Is hey, he's been through the runner, like the runner, and he can.
I think
share
ultimately I'm too honest, and I have a hard time being what I would say staying on the professional side on YouTube, because I kind of use it as my hobby and having fun too. So,
yes.
So occasionally you get a video like I had for the last video of the year.
That video was awesome. I just wanted to
cracked me
see
up.
more after the video. That's the only. If there was anything negative I would say about that, it's because I wanted to see a video after it.
I was gonna have that video. That video is in the link too. Anyways,
We got 3 cool YouTubers: Brilliant Man, Grant Cardone, Gary V, and then my hubby. And I just wanted to see these 3 guys. Those 3 YouTubers they're smart, they're wonderful men, and I just wanted to see a video after the poo-poo.
just so everybody
That's the only
knows,
downfall.
I do look up to. I listen and enjoy a lot of Grant Cardone as well as Gary Vee. Both have been instrumental in my growth in the last several years on developing my personal mindset and who I've become and who I'd like to be, because ultimately you're working towards who you'd like to be. Screw who you were, because you can leave that in the past and just move forward. But yeah, I try to stay somewhat professional, but I'm just not the guy that can come off as extremely polished. I feel like this video went pretty good, and I hope to make some more videos helping you in business over the winter. But who knows, they might turn out good, they might not. I don't know what to tell you, but for sure we know I'm getting good at the work videos, so stay tuned for spring, right? We've got some more leaf cleanups coming. But
Yeah.
all right, guys, we're out.